Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. In this video I'm going to show you a couple of teams I'm going to use for this invasion event. One a lower level team suitable for newer players of the game, and one for the later player who may have more of the better troops. First things first though, I always recommend you pop into the shop and make sure you grab definitely tier 1. This gives you a potion of enchantment, which means all your troops start enchanted at the start of each and every battle, which is super handy. Also, check through your troops. Make sure you have a Sifu Yuan. If you don't, then you're going to want to grab this tier 2 too, because you get one guaranteed, and he is excellent at battling the towers, as it says there, and you need a siege breaker in this event to go a long way. If you've got the gems, I thoroughly recommend you grab this tier 3 as well. This is a really nice weapon. Amethyst Band explodes green gems, looks like it's magic +1. Then grant a random status effect to all elf allies, then summon a elf troop. I'm actually going to be using this weapon in my team, so it's really good to show what it can do. It's a really handy weapon. And even though I explode a lot of green gems because of my magic level, if you're a newer player and your magic is lower, I'll show you how to boost that so you can still get a lot more out of this weapon, so stay tuned to see how to do that, because it's really easy. Right, so that is the basics of that. Make sure you grab that siege breaker troop, and now onto the team. Excuse me, the team itself. If you don't have a King Avalon because he is legendary, then pop in another Enchantress. She's a really good troop. She's got a couple of really good points about her, and she does damage to all enemies and enchants a random ally, which is really nice. So for the early stages, we should be demolishing the whole team in a single cast, and even if you had two of these, that is really handy because you'll double up on that. King Avalon is mainly there for that 50% star on mana to all elf allies, but he also does damage to all as well and has a summon, which is really nice. We need Sifu Yuan in here because he is a siege breaker. A siege breaker does extra damage to towers, and even if you've got one at only a base level, you're still going to be doing 3 times your standard damage, which is really handy. When it gets to the later stages, you'll be looking to charge this guy up as fast as you can and basically give those towers a bash in one go. Eventually, as towers replace standard troops, you're going to replace your standard troops all for these guys. So you're going to need more than one if you want to go a long way into this event. Right, and what we got at the bottom now? I've got the weapon here. This is the handy weapon I just got from the shop. Explodes gems, grants a random status effect to all elf allies, which we are all elves, and has a summon as well. But the handy thing about this weapon is we're going to be in Archmage's class, which is unusual for an elf team. And the reason is, normally it's Archer and Orbreather, which are related normally to elves, but Archmages just works far better for this team. And the reason is, we get 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, which is handy. Allied mystics gain 2 life, we have a couple of mystics. And we get 2 bonus mana from matching purple gems. Really handy, we want purple for this team. But as well as that, the skills work better as well. On that magic one in the corner there, it says 5 magic, you get +5 when using a purple weapon. So if you're a lower level player or you're quite new to the game and you've just got this weapon and you're doing might be exploding only a couple of gems, with this you're going to be exploding an extra 5, which makes a really big difference. That is super handy for that, and you work towards getting this weapon as well in this class, which is one of the best weapons in the game. Really handy is Reflection of Good. Now we'll look at the actual traits itself and the talent tree. Going for Magical Shield, Dark Hunger, Anti-Magic Sphere, Mana Source, Antiquity. I don't think these ones actually particularly relevant. Lightning Strike and Mystic Channel. Again, handy because we have a couple of Mystics in the team. Even though it's an elf event, a couple of our troops are Mystic as well, which is Enchantress. She's elf and Mystic. And our hero is also the same. So works out really well for that. And the banners for this, we're going to go for +2 yellow, +1 purple, -1 brown. So there's the basic team. If you're a high level player and you have the better troops, I'd still stick to this weapon. I really like it, but you might shift it to first place instead. And if you've got like mine, Arachnian Reaver here, I would just chuck a couple of Arachnian Reavers in there and an Arachnator because everybody does true damage. They're going to be wiping out the enemies really, really quickly, as well as being immune to Mana Drain, Silence, Fairy Fire and Web there. And in Arachnian Reaver's case, he's immune to even more stuff. So here's a summon as well. Literally, I would go Amethyst Band, Arachnian Reaver, Arachnator with that first. And then obviously change Arachnian Reavers for Sifu Yuans as you go along, and they need that troop in there. Pretty much as simple as that, but I'm going to roll with this one at first. As I said, if you don't have a King Avalon, just chuck in extra Enchantress. And there are a couple of other troops I think that do damage to all. So if you've got those and you don't have Enchantress, say, then pop them in there instead, because damage to all is a nice quick way of going about these events. So let's jump in. Should be nice and quick at first. It's just going to be a case of, well, we didn't have to do anything. We just got an explosion at the start and that charged up Enchantress and we are done. That is because of the 50% start we got from King Avalon, and a combination of that and the Potion of Enchantment and the explosion we got from the gems. And we didn't have to do anything again. It was just ready to go, literally automatically. Doesn't get much easier than that. So first, we're just taking out the troops normally. There's no need to target the towers specifically right now. There it is, the tower, Easter Tower. It will get more powerful as the game goes on. And there you go, we've finished already killing them in one hit, but King Avalon will be ready to do his stuff on the next round. You can choose this and then just target the tower, make sure it's gone. Nothing bad about getting rid of it early. They got summoned, but we can deal with that. What we'll do eventually with this team as well is, as you need multiple hits to wipe out the entire opposing team, is eventually shift this to the top, because it is really handy. The hero is more resilient, especially as you swap out these troops for Sifu Yuans as we go along. So eventually, ultimately, when we get all towers on the other side, you're going to have just like as many Sifu Yuans as you can, and I don't know, maybe the hero weapon too. But yeah, fairly straightforward. Quite low level. Enchantress, like I say, you can double up on her if you don't have King Avalon. It'll just be slightly slower at the start of the game. You're not going to get that 50% start on the other troops. There's Avalon ready. There's going to be some summons in this side from the enemy, so that is going to slow things down every now and again, but that's the nature of the opposition, not the actual team I've picked. What should we do here? We'll cast this again. Give Enchantress a bit more glory. One life left. Lingerers. That's why it's handy to have those kind of traits sometimes that pinch an extra bit of life here and there and things like that, because it really is handy. Stops all that enemy surviving on one life thing going on sometimes. Nice 4-match there, got the whole team charged up pretty much, apart from Avalon, but he'll get there in a second. Let's take out that tower while it's... I could have cast Avalon probably there, but hey ho. Try and get to the point where it's worth moving out a regular troop for another Sifu Yuan. Not quite there yet. Not a million miles away though. Like I say, sometimes, especially if you're a newer player or lower level player, it's worth taking out the tower nice and early sometimes if you can. And taking the 4-match skull hit, or I left them at the bottom because you can't really afford to do things like that as a earlier player. It's funny, 'cause I still enjoy the game a lot now, but I think I actually enjoyed it even more as a newer player. These events like now, which are now like really a walk in the park and no challenge at all, it's just a matter of time. I think when I was a newer player I enjoyed it more because it was a challenge. It felt quite satisfying to get through them. Don't know what I cast that for, that was silly. But yeah, it's still, now it's just a given, you're going to get through it. At this level that I'm on now, but still saying it's not fun, but it is a process rather than a challenge, if you know what I mean. It's like, there's a lot of satisfaction I got as a newer player getting a long way in these. Even if I couldn't get to the end, it was like, you know, it was quite interesting. See if I can get a bit further next time, that kind of thing. And when you did get a bit further, that, you know, told you your team is getting more powerful, you're getting more powerful, you're growing with the game, and I love that progression part of it. Now the progress is super slow. Still enjoyable. Different things to aim for, mostly pets to raise kingdoms and things like that. But I did love this early stage of the game. There you go, you can take out those towers nice and early now. Make sure they don't be a pain later on. Cast our weapon to get mana for the team. Obviously how quickly you wade through these earlier levels will depend upon your level and the magic of your team and how much damage they do. Like I say, and might switch to a double Arachnian Weaver team later on. Some of these later stages would be really quick with those. If you don't have two Arachnian Weavers, like I say, the Arachnian Weaver and the Arachmator, or whatever his name was, would be not a bad choice. Alright, not there yet, but like if you're already at the stage where you're casting several times to defeat all the enemies, and particularly the towers, then swap out another troop, probably Enchantress or King Avalon, whichever one you have. A lot of people won't, if you're early, won't have a King Avalon yet, even though he's doesn't seem that hard to get hold of, but I suppose he's a legendary, so you do need to rely on it to pop up in chests more than anything. It's the towers now, look, which are being left with by far the most health, so just target them with your siege breaker and make sure they do not survive. See, Arachnian Weaver would be way faster for this already, but I'm just doing this mainly for the benefit of earlier players. Still got a lot to look forward to in the game. There's so much to this game, it's kind of crazy. Grab some purple, just a single match from purple will get Enchantress excited and ready to go. Get Enchantress ready for action. Very colourful tower there. Some nice little random cascades there. So you can, if you like, just target one of the towers absolutely straight away. If you start the game and you just happen to be charged up, then why not? Get that thing out of the way. Oops, wrong button. This is why our weapon comes in handy. Lots of charge. Only benefits King Avalon initially, but the extra gems which the exploded gems take out is what is handy for charging the rest of the team. Blue. There's no blue. So we give Enchantress a little bit more action, which I'm sure she appreciates. Doesn't get used very much. I actually say it doesn't get used very much, but that's as a end gamer. It's like as a earlier player, I found her absolutely super useful. Really, really handy. So that damage to all is really, really nice. And when you're new to the game, obviously these kind of troops are the ones which you're going to be relying on at first. You don't get the best troops straight away, not by any stretch of the imagination. You have to work for them, grind for them, play the game, just slowly get built up. Exciting moment when you get your first Mythic. Exciting moment when you get your first Legendary, to be honest. And you get that troop you think should be a game changer and take your game to a next level. Makes it really interesting. Right, I'll just do a couple more because we're pretty much at the stage now where you think about swapping out one of these troops, probably Enchantress, for an extra Sifu Yuan. Because even in my case, I'm actually not hitting them things that hard anymore. An Avalon, again, not that much, but Siege Breaker, bash, one tower gone. Get them charged up straight away. So they're going to start enchanted at the start of every battle. It's going to be way quicker. Alright, so this is slowed right down now, look. So that took way too many turns, and now is the time to swap out a couple of troops. Should have probably done it a round or two earlier. So, let's look at our troops. You can pick extra ones of these up from the shop as well. Now if you see the difference it makes now, it will be huge. We'll literally be bashing those towers in one go and they'll be gone. So we're looking for red now or yellow. May want to change the banner at this point as well. I didn't actually check that. But as these get charged up now really quickly. Should have waited then actually one more round, because then could have got that yellow and it would have gone straight onto the other troops. And it's always worth taking out the towers which are enchanted as well. They're going to cause you a pain. Even though we're only doing 1 damage to him now, it's still more than the damage we were doing with Enchantress, for example, because there's no need for damage to wall anymore. Far better off bashing those towers individually. I'll try and time it better this round. I made a mistake on that last round. I shouldn't have cast that first troop immediately. Should have waited for the second troop to be charged up. I'll try and explain what I mean when I get it. I'm going to leave them a 4 match there, but no, I'm not. Right, what I'm saying is, like if I cast, actually it's not going to matter because this one's going to be charged up anyway, but the third one won't be. By getting this one now, just waiting one more round, we can cast all of these now back to back. If I didn't do that, we may have had to wait an extra round for one to get charged again. So obviously if you collect yellow or red, this is going to go on the first troop, because he gets first dibs on the mana. Some incidental damage plus mana for the team. And get rid of that dicky bird. Right, well that's how I'd go about this invasion event. Don't forget to grab your rewards. Get lots of good stuff here. Gems, gold, souls, event keys, vault keys. Very nice. Diamonds. more handy stuff, and even orbs of chaos as you progress through the event. So there's my team for the invasion. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. And while I think about it, I forgot to do a couple of shout outs for people on the latest lollipop finders. BCC James J. Van found lollipop in the Hall of Guardians event at 3 minutes 54, and Robert Thone found it in the Focus on Arc Proxy Avenger vid. That was at 7 minutes and 8 seconds approximately. And any more people I still yet to shout out, I will do tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.